Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Dr. Edwin Hernandez. You're watching TechEDTV. And today we're going to bring you an interview with Jason Brown. Jason Brown, CPA, is our accountant. He's an early adopter of technology and a very good ally for startups. Watch next. Hi, and we're back here with Jason Brown. Hi, Jason. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, Edwin. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Tell us more about you, Jason. Was this famous Jason Brown? Everybody in the startup community is like, "Hey, Jason, what's up?"
Thanks for having me this morning. Yes, I'm Jason Brown. I'm a CPA in the state of Florida. I've been one for almost 20 years now, and I have my own practice called Foresight Financial CPA firm. We are a full-service CPA firm in Boca Raton, Florida. We do a lot of work with many different types of companies, but yes, a big part of our practice is we do work with startup companies. We provide tax, accounting, bookkeeping, CFO services for them. So for a lot of them, we could work with them, help plan, help determine in some cases if they're raising money, how much they should be raising, what are their use of proceeds, meaning when they get that money, what are they going to use it for, which any investor wants to know before they give you money, that you actually know what you're going to use it for and how they're going to use that money to grow their company, reach certain milestones, and then hopefully they can raise money at a higher valuation on their next round of funding because they use the money in the right way.
Right. I remember one time you created a pro forma for some people.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what you mean. Like usually when you present your pitch, you have
Exactly.
two slides that you make.
Yeah, so we help with that as well. But yes, the projections is a big part of what we do to help companies out. It's essentially a financial model. So what you do is you come up with different assumptions about your company, including what your revenue is, how do you have your sales, how do you make money, what are your costs of sales, in other words, what's it cost to make what you're selling, and then then you determine your gross profit, and we can work with you guys to make sure you got a good gross profit, because if not, you're really not going to make that much money and be successful. Then other assumptions are, what are your expenses, how much equipment or other capital you need to put into the company, how long is your cash going to last before you run out if you're still in a position where you're not cash flow positive. So stuff like that. If you're not able to use foresight to see your future, then chances are you might not be as successful as you could be.
Great. You see, startups, if you want to have like a good planning, a good pitch deck, not only like just to impress your investors, but also to make sure you have a roadmap to follow. How do you want to invest your money? Jason is going to prepare one for you. And tell me, Jason, like I know like a lot of CPAs usually are a little bit technology adverse,
Mm-hmm.
but you are not one of those. You actually adopt technology. You like the cloud. You like to get the new stuff. So that's for you might have a little bit more of like I will say like interaction with this technology startups. Tell us about your experience using the cloud and in your own firm, and how do you adopt that?
Well, it all changed, I'd say, about 10 years ago or so. Before 10 years ago, everything was not cloud-based, was not what you call paperless. In other words, we had big files you literally had to state the papers in there as your working papers. You had to write on it. The files over time would fall apart, and the papers would fall out of the folder. You had to buy those little. You remember those little sticky circles to keep the binders? We had those. So, and if you wanted to print a tax return and you had to change one page or one item on it, I should say, it could have changed a few pages, maybe 3 or 4 out of 100 would change. You just had to reprint the whole thing. So now we're paperless. Everything is on the cloud, like you said. All our files get saved in a remote server that I work with Edwin. He makes sure everything is backed up continuously, so all our data is secure and encrypted. And basically, right now for us and all our employees, our laptop is our office. You can be anywhere, and as long as you have your laptop, you have access to all your files, all your software. I could be sitting on the beach, and if I have my hotspot or decent Wi-Fi, then I can be working there on the beach and have my whole access to my whole office. So we work a lot with technology companies, and we try to be technologically savvy as well.
You see, guys, this is a big difference, because sometimes you find a CPA and you tell them what you want to do, and they don't really understand what you're doing. So having a Jason next to you is a great advantage. And tell us, Jason, more about your family. You have some family? I've seen you with some beautiful girls. Tell us about your family.
Well, those beautiful girls are my 11 and 13-year-old daughters, so, watch what you say. No, I'm kidding. I have a lovely wife. Her name is Debbie. We've been married in March. It'll be 14 wonderful years. And we have two daughters, Maya, who is 13, and Lucy, who is 11. They're both trained singers. Maya is more of a choral, operatic type singer, and Lucy is more of a Broadway type singer. But they're both wonderful, talented.
So you won't have to work then in the next decade, maybe.
That would be nice if
like famous or something.
Yeah, if they could support us in our older age. But we're not totally counting on that. Got to try to work on it on my own. So, but yes, that's my family.
Great, fantastic, Jason. Like is very happy to I'm very happy to have you here at the EGLAVATOR actually. So you can find Jason at the office here, and he's usually available. What are your times to be found here?
Yeah, I get here actually pretty early. I'm usually here at a little after 7, maybe 7:30 in the morning, and and our office is open till I'd say about 5 every day. But just like a lot of other people, we're available nights, weekends if needed. And we give people at my cell phone. We really try to strive on providing great service and being readily available for our clients as well.
Right now, like, people are watching your website, so ForesightFinancialCPAs.com. Is that how they will find your website?
Actually, that was our website, but we actually just shortened the name so you didn't have to put financial in. It's a little easier. Now it's ForesightCPAs.com. FORESIGHT CPAS. You have to put the S, or it'll take you to some other some company that's not ours.
So a company is not friendly to startups. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, some company in some other state that doesn't do what we do and doesn't work with startups. No.
And tell me one more thing, Jason. You also help a lot of licensing people with a lot of their taxes when they get a license, when they get a research grant. That's also a very hard to find a specialty if you're in the field of research.
Yes, thank you, Edwin, for your kind words. So, yes, in addition to doing a lot of work with startups and acting as their bookkeeper, accountant, CFO, or whatever else they would need, we do a lot of tax work for clients, tax planning, tax compliance. So, for the startups, once they get to the point where they're making money, now you can help them minimize their overall tax hit, whether it's just taxable income or if they're looking to sell their company at some point. And as you mentioned, as far as licensing goes, yes, we definitely help with that. There is what we call a loophole in the law. I believe it's what's called Section 1235, where if you have if I have a client, an entrepreneur who is an innovator like yourself and who has developed technology, you can license it out, and if you're licensing it out exclusively to someone, even if it's a license, it can be treated as a capital gain for tax purposes. So in essence, you're going to get a much lower tax rate even though you haven't technically sold the asset, as long as it's being exclusively licensed to someone.
That's great news for you inventors. If you are there watching TechEDTV, contact Jason, because honestly, not that many CPAs understand the technology side and the intellectual property side of the business, so they can really advise you in the right direction when it comes to taxes and financial planning in general. So a few more last words, Jason, for our audience here. I'm pretty sure they will want to contact you. Tell us what they will do next.
Well, as everyone knows, after the new year, you're past Christmas, on the holidays, and now it's like tax season's here. So all of us, pretty much everyone, has to do some form of tax filing. So if you need someone to help you with your taxes, whether you have a big, complex, multi-state return, or you have a simple company, or even just your individual 1040 tax return, I'd love to speak with you and be happy to help you with it and get that prepared and do our best to put you in the best tax position now and going forward.
Okay, guys, here down below, you will see his email address and his website, as well as we presented it in the last slide here of the show. Thank you for watching, and thank you, Jason. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Bye, guys.